Jumping right into this look, I'm going to start off with the MAC paint pot in the color Soft Ochre. I typically like to apply some sort of a base onto my eyes, especially if I want it to last all day long. And for me, I use the paint pot because of the fact that it does neutralize the entire eyelid, because mine, as you can see, are pretty pigmented. If I don't use anything on top of that, it's just any color that I put on top of my lid won't show up at all. So this has dual benefit. Not only is it going to give me a nice clean canvas to work with, but it'll also work as a primer. To help further set and neutralize my eyelids, I'm going to be applying this pressed powder from NARS. This is in the color Mountain, which is what I would typically wear on my face, but I'm just going to be applying it onto the lids. This is not only going to help set, but it's also going to help with blending. Using the Tartelette in Bloom palette, I'm going to be grabbing the color Sweetheart with my Sigma E40 blending brush and applying it onto my crease using circular windshield wiping motions. Just going back and forth, making sure that I build the color up to my liking. This is going to not only serve as my transition shade, but it'll also help start to warm up the eyes. Next, going in with the color Rebel and the exact same brush that I used previously, and just applying this next color in the exact same way that I applied the previous Sweetheart color. So in circular windshield wiping motions and just building the color intensity up to my liking. Now with this color, since it is a little bit darker than the previous color, I want that to go a little bit lower than the previous color. So with the Sweetheart color, I try to keep that along the crease and a little bit above the crease, building up or going up toward my brow bone. With this one, I want to stay a little bit below that. So you always want the lighter color to be on top and then the darkest colors to be on the bottom. So that is what I try to do when I initially apply the product, is I try to keep that pretty low and then just kind of buff it up a little bit so that it blends in with the previous lighter color. I don't know, does that make sense? I really hope it does. Let me know if it doesn't and I will try to further explain. For my lid, I'm going to be applying the color Firecracker, which I absolutely love. This formula is so nice and soft and buttery, but super pigmented that I didn't even need a brush. I just go ahead and apply it with my finger and it works perfectly. To give my eye a little bit more of intensity and dimension and depth, I'm going to be applying the color Leader with my Sigma E35 just onto the outer V and then dragging that a little bit into my crease, not too much. And then going back with my original blending brush without adding any additional product, just to make sure that everything is nice and blended together. If you don't have dark circles like me, feel free to skip this step. However, as you can tell, they're pretty bad. So using my Sigma P84, which is an angled brush that I really love to use underneath the eye, I'm going to be applying my Becca Brightening Corrector. I still love this stuff as much as I love all my other correctors. I love the formula of this because it is tacky, but it doesn't crease on my eye and it is really pigmented. So I don't have to use a heck of a lot of product in order to cover up the darkness that is the under eye area for me. So just going in with that and applying a light layer onto the under eye area. For foundation today, I'm going to be using Estee Lauder's Double Wear Foundation in the color Wheat and just simply applying it in sections and blending it out using my damp beauty blender. I really love this foundation for a long day. Like if I'm going to have a long day at work, or if I'm planning on being somewhere for a really long time and I want to look my best, or I want my foundation to really last, this is what I will typically reach for on those particular days, because it really is long wearing and it's crazy full coverage, so you really can't go wrong with this foundation. For concealer, I'm using the Naked Skin Concealer from Urban Decay, and I must say, this is probably one of my top concealers of all time because it is so light and it is so, that's mainly what I look for with anything. It has to feel light on the skin, but it has to be really crazy as far as coverage. And this is just that. It covers extremely well without feeling cakey, without feeling heavy. However, I must say that I obviously picked out a shade a little bit too light for me. I meant to grab medium light neutral. Instead, I grabbed just light neutral, which as you can see is a little bit too light for my liking. I mean, some people might really love really light under eye area, like really bright, vibrant under eye area. For me, I tend to not like that as much on myself, and so definitely going to go back and get the correct one next time. But I figured I love the concealer, I might as well keep it and try to work with it, and that is why I'm using this particular shade. However, I am going to go back, or I am planning on going back to Sephora or Ulta and grabbing the medium light neutral shade because I feel like that would probably suit me best. So here I'm just applying it under the eye area completely, and of course I have a really small forehead, and so I really try my best to try to elongate that as best I can because I feel like it is so incredibly small. So that is the only reason why I do the whole nose forehead thing. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't even touch that. And then of course blending it all out using my damp beauty blender. Going in with the RCMA No Color Powder, I'm going to be lightly setting the under eye area using my beauty blender. Using the Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color dark brown, I'm going to be obviously defining and darkening my brows. If you're looking for everyday glam lash, look no further. These are Bambi from the House of Lashes. Absolutely love them. They are really subtle glam. It's not too over the top, so you could definitely wear them during the daytime and get away with it and not be too intense. You know what I mean? Going back to the eyes, I wanted to brighten up the inner corner, and so I went ahead and I applied Sweet Dreams pigment. This is from Makeup Geek, in order to really brighten that inner corner. As you can see, like as soon as I applied it, I was like, whoa, yes. For the daytime, I really like sticking with this NYX Jumbo Pencil in the color Yogurt. It just automatically, as soon as you put it on, it brightens up your eyes and it just makes you look more awake and just wide-eyed, and yeah, I just love it. In order to bronze up my face a little bit, I'm going to be applying this Hoola bronzer from Benefit onto the hollows of my cheeks and also to the temple area. For blush today, I'm going to be using the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Luminoso, which I obviously have been favoring ever since I purchased it. It's a really beautiful, nice peachy shade, and I think it's perfect for this spring/summertime. For highlight today, I'm going to be applying the highlight shade from the Master Contour palette from Maybelline. I have the light medium palette. I believe there's also a medium dark palette. And yeah, applying that onto the tops of my cheeks, onto the bridge of my nose, and also to the brow bone. I really love this highlight because it's nice and subtle for the daytime. It's not too much highlight, but it's just enough glow to where it just looks really nice during the daytime. Absolutely love it. Going in with the Stila Water Plumping Primer on my lips, I'm applying this beforehand so that it completely dries before I go in with my liquid matte lipstick. I love wearing this stuff underneath liquid mattes because, as we all know, liquid matte lipsticks are amazing because they don't transfer, they last a long time, but they make your lips, most of them do, make your lips super duper dry, and this totally prevents that from happening, for me at least. So that is why I apply that, let it completely dry, and then I go in with my liquid matte because yeah, my lips won't feel like they're gonna crack at any moment. Anyway, after that, moving on to mascara. This is the Voluminous mascara from L'Oreal in the shade Black Brown, and just applying one layer of that onto my top lashes without touching my bottom lashes for this look because I don't want to interfere with any of the brightness going on my waterline and any of the brightness going on in my inner corner. And then last but not least, finishing off this look with, of course, a matte liquid lipstick. This one is from Ofra. It is the collaboration that Ofra did with Manny MUA in the shade, or in the color Charmed. Absolutely love this color for an everyday wear. It's nice, soft, it's pink, right up my alley. So yeah. And that completes this everyday glam look. Thank you all so much for watching. I truly hope that you enjoyed this look and enjoyed this video as much as I always enjoy making these for you. Take care, and I will see you all in my next video.